Back, and we're moving on to the second part of the show, which is MLB. We'll start it off with, all right? Now, the Red Sox apparently are publicly making the following players available. Daisuke, yep, in the trade block. Daisuke, Marco Scutaro, Mike Cameron, Tim Wakefield, and Darnell McDonald, excuse me.
Yeah, Gordon Needs reported this, and ESPN reported this, and this kind of got shot down pretty quickly because I don't think Theo would publicly make that many people available. But it makes sense. Most of these players should be available. You know, Daisuke, he's having a tough spring right now. He doesn't have his command. I think that signing was bad from the moment they signed him. They really can get. They have Felix Dubrog there. They have Andrew Miller. They have guys who can step in and be that fifth starter. Dennis Reyes, their left-handed specialist, he's hurt. I think he's still not in shape. He's a little bit overweight. So they want to look for a left-handed reliever. And the other thing is they need a little bit more bullpen help and maybe another catching prospect. They want somebody who can kind of challenge Jared Saltalamacchia for that job with the remaining spring. I don't think something's going to get done that quick, but I think these players. I mean, they have Ryan Kalish, Juan Carlos Linares is having a pretty good spring. Mike Cameron should be available. Marco Scutaro, all these guys should be available because you got Jed Lowry with Marco Scutaro. There's a lot of players. Tim Wakefield, his whole career should be done.
But if they're not
45,
available, if they're not available, I mean, it's okay because but the problem with Scutaro would be where do we come from shortstop though?
Well, you can go. That's the whole thing. You got Jed Lowry.
Jed Lowry.
Yeah, Jed Lowry's pretty solid.
Isn't he interchangeable like second or something?
Yeah, right now he'd be their pro utility guy. Right now he would be their Nick Green of last year. 2 years ago. Excuse me. Right now he can play basically any infield position. Yeah. But Jed Lowry, they're saying right now, it looks better. He's real healthy right now. He has a little bit more pop. He's a little bit better hitter.
Yeah.
And he's
I
much
remember
younger.
he was bad when he first came in.
And Scutaro is appealing to some other team in the National League who's looking for a veteran. So I think all these players, especially Mike Cameron and Marco Scutaro, people will take a look at.
Tim Wakefield should just retire with us. That's what we should do.
Yeah, well, the only thing is he said he wants to stay with the Red Sox. The only thing is I don't think the Red Sox want him to stay anymore.
Sign him for like another year and then let him retire.
Well, yeah, he's on the team, but I mean, his whole career.
I thought they put him up there though.
No, like he's on the team, but they're offering him in trades.
They'll get rid of him if necessary.
I don't think anybody's going to bid on it. I think Tim Wakefield. Out of all those players, I think Tim Wakefield has the best chance of being on the team.
Just keep him then.
All right. Moving on. The Phillies have given Ruben Amaro Jr. I almost said Alomar Jr.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yeah, they've given him a 4-year extension. So, all right. So the Phillies have given Amaro a 4-year extension. Thoughts on this?
Well, anybody could steal Cliff Lee from the biggest contender of the New York Yankees in the offseason. Imagine he come in and take Cliff Lee and build the greatest rotation ever assembled. I'd give that guy a 4-year extension too. I think this offense is still solid. I think he did a great job not re-signing Jason Worth. I think Jason Worth's going to be a bust in these next couple of years. They still got Dominic Brown. I like this team right now. I think Philly used to be a middle-class market, and now they're a top-notch, top-5 team as far as market goes. So I think Ruben Amaro is the right man for the job. And ever since he came in, he's made great signings, great trades. They won a World Series. They've gotten the World Series twice. So I like what he's done.
Whatever it takes to get it done, he's been doing a good job, and just why not keep it that way?
Yeah. And that's usually what happens. Usually with GMs come in and they win a World Series real soon, they'll be on the team for a solid 10, 15 years after that, like a Theo Epstein, somebody like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, moving on. Cliff Lee admitted that the New York Yankees were not his second choice, and that the Rangers actually were.
There.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge news, and that just makes Red Sox fans even more happy. I'm glad if Brian was here, he'd probably be pissed at that too.
Rubbing it right in his face.
Yeah.
I'd be laughing.
Yeah, I mean, Cliff Lee actually came out and said the problem he didn't want to sign with the Yankees is he doesn't think the Yankees have a good chance of winning.
Oh.
That's kind of sting. He thinks they're too old. He thinks if he went to the Rangers right now, if he played with the Rangers, they'd have a better shot at winning if he went to the Yankees.
I was rooting for them too, man.
Yeah, and apparently he says, which I agree, out of all the 3 teams, the Phillies have the best roster and the best ability to win right now, so he made the right decision. It wasn't just because he wanted to be on the Phillies, because they had the best chance of winning. So that's big news.
All right, moving on to fantasy baseball.
Who would you rather have?
Who would you rather have,
Yeah.
or this is who will have a better fantasy year, so I guess we'll still classify it as the third. Who would you rather have?
Yeah.
So, all right. Alex Rodriguez or Mark Teixeira?
Who would you rather have?
Who would you rather have?
You don't know?
Both of them, I don't know. I don't know if I really like.
You can't
either
choose both of them. You don't
I'm not
like
saying
either?
I don't like either of them, but I don't know.
So if somebody...
Teixeira's been dropping average, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
getting smacked on average.
I would pick A-Rod.
I would take A-Rod right now. You know, he had
He's
down
more
year last
consistent,
year.
at least,
I think
right?
A-Rod has more trade value at least. And, you know, and I think A-Rod, you know, he's getting up there in age. He's still pretty durable. I think he's going to be in the lineup basically every day. And a lot of players, there's always that one guy, like I always mention in every episode, you can always trade a guy. Everybody knows the name A-Rod. So, I mean, they're going to just, if you have one of those guys in the league, you can dump A-Rod on the team, grab a lot back. He's a great trade chip right now. And I try to trade him right now where his value is still pretty high. Because either it's going to...
AC stats just falling off the list.
If he's still at 30... I can still see A-Rod being that 330, 100 guy for another year or two.
I don't know.
You know, I still don't like that contract for the next... He's not going to be the same guy when he's 42. But right now at 35... I mean, you can still put those kind of numbers up. Teixeira, like you just mentioned, his average has been tanking.
He got smacked down last year.
Anybody can hit.
Awful.
Anybody can hit 40 home runs in that ballpark if you're a lefty. So it's not really just him hitting the 40 home runs. It's basically the ballpark. But the big average is the problem is he's trying to hit a home run every time he's up there rather than trying to get a hit.
Did he have like a 230 at one point? Or
Yeah,
lower?
230. I think he ended up around 240, 250. What was it? Around 250.
Mark Teixeira?
Yeah.
Mark Teixeira ended up like 250.
Yeah, 250.
Around there.
So yeah, you
He
don't want
did
that.
bring it up, though.
I mean, you can. Mark Teixeira has a lot of trade value too, but right now, I take a stab at A-Rod if I had to trade
True.
him too.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right, number 2, Matt Holliday or Nelson Cruz.
I think Nelson Cruz is going to pick up huge numbers right now. They're predicting some solid numbers. Adrian Beltre is in that 4 hole for the Rangers, but backing up right after Beltre and Hamilton, I think this guy's going to put up a lot of RBIs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nelson Cruz breaks out and hits around 40 home runs this year. He has that kind of power. I saw him when he won the home run derby two years ago. He has incredible power. I think this guy's going to have a monster year. I'll go Nelson Cruz.
I don't know. I like Matt Holliday.
Yeah, me too.
You can't really underestimate the guy. He's really good. But,
He's solid.
Cruz is really good too. They're both like power hitters, right?
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
much.
I'd take the Rangers.
Holiday's more or less. You'd say.
The Rangers have the better lineup. Is that what you're going to say, John?
Yeah,
Something
that's
like that?
exactly what I was
Yeah,
gonna
the
say,
Rangers have the better lineup, so that's going to give them better RBI chance. And I think if you look at the RBIs, I think Nelson Cruz has the better chance. And if you look at power numbers, I think Nelson Cruz obviously has more power than Matt Holliday. So I'll take Nelson Cruz. I think Matt Holliday can still put up more kind of average, but I'll take Nelson Cruz. I think Matt Holliday has more trade value, though.
All right, finally, number 3, Jose Batista or Jason Worth.
Ooh, that's tough. I'll go Jose Batista. I know this guy is not going to hit 50 home runs again. I think he was juicing or whatever he was doing.
Still beasted.
Yeah,
Shit out of
10,
everything.
16, 20, 50. You know, it's not going to work. I think he can go back down there. If you can get 30, 32 home runs from Batista, I think that's what you got to expect from him this year.
Yeah.
I think Jason Worth, as much as they think he's going to still be a solid player for 5 years, I think that contract was stupid. It was a terrible contract. He's not going to live up to those numbers. I see Worth hitting at best 280, 20 with 80 RBIs, so I'll go Batista.
Home runs, I definitely see Batista being
Yeah.
Worth. I never saw Worth as really like a big guy.
Well, the good thing with Worth
you know,
is he had a great lineup with the Phillies, and he
Yeah.
didn't have all the pressure. Now he has all that
Now
pressure
he's
on him.
got. Ooh, wait, who's with again?
The Nationals.
With the Nationals.
Nationals have a terrible lineup. They just lost Adam Dunn again. You know, you got Zimmerman, but he's not going to have a chance for the RBIs. I think ultimately Jason Worth is the better player, but as far as fantasy goes, I'll take
He's not the man. He's not like the A-Rod of your team. That
Yeah.
You want to like make him that.
Well,
guy.
that's what they are expecting him to be, that kind of guy with that kind of contract, 120
That's
million.
not going to happen.
But he's not going to do that kind of stats.
All right, moving on finally to our last and final segment, NBA. Chicago is now tied with Boston in the East. Are the Bulls the East's best?
I think on paper, I'd still go the Celtics or the Heat. But right now, I think the team is playing the best for the best coach is the Bulls. I think Tom Thibodeau is doing a terrific job. I think he gets my vote for Coach of the Year right now. And as far as threat to go for the Celtics or Heat, it's definitely the Bulls. Who knows the Celtics defense better than Tom Thibodeau, who was their defensive coach last year? So I mean, if anybody knows, I mean, he arguably knows the better defense than Doc Rivers on his own team. This guy's going to match up perfectly with the Celtics. D Rose, he's going to be the MVP of the year. Joakim Noah, since he's come back, he's doing a terrific job defense and offense. And Carlos Boozer, I think he's one of the best signings of the year. I think he's buying into that 2 role. I love the Bulls right now, and also Luol Deng putting up some serious numbers there. But the big guy, like I just said, is Tom Thibodeau. I think he's doing a terrific job. I'll say Chicago might be the best team right now.
I don't think they are yet. They're getting there. They're still young, but I mean, they're not like 2 years ago young. Like they've really developed now. Problem is with the pressure for the Celtics is they got the Celtics, Bulls, Heat, Knicks, and Orlando all right there.
Yep.
The problem for them winning it will be that pressure now in the East.
Yeah,
it's not like just
I
them
think
versus the
It doesn't
Magic.
help when you lose to
It's
the
not.
Clippers.
Yeah,
so.
it's not just them versus.
A lot
the
of people
Magic.
say, oh, they have a rookie coach. This guy isn't really a rookie coach. Yeah, he's a rookie head coach, but this guy has massive experience with the Celtics as
Oh,
a
Tom
defensive leader.
Thibodeau, yeah,
Tom
he's
Thibodeau.
always been good with
And
the
like I just said,
Celtics.
he knows the
He's
Celtics
there.
D. The Heat doesn't have that kind of defense. And on paper, he's turned Derrick Rose into arguably the best player in the game. I love this Bulls team, and if anybody can take down the Celtics to Heat, I think it's the
And
Bulls.
I'm telling you who's not gonna. I'm telling you who will take down the Heat. It will be them. I don't like the Heat.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Peps. Brian always says the Celtics still have the best chance of winning this whole thing. Who do you think is going to win the whole thing?
I don't know. That's rough. San Antonio's doing.
San Antonio?
Really good, too. No, I don't know if I'd pick them. I'd pick the Celtics.
You think so? You take the Celtics so you think it's going to be Celtics San Antonio in the finals?
Maybe, I don't know. They might
I don't think
lose.
it's going to even be San Antonio.
It might not be San Antonio. The problem is they're older too, though. I don't know.
I think San Antonio could.
San Antonio's a
San
solid team.
Antonio-
I know,
though.
but
They've.
I don't know.
They've
I'm
shown
just like
they
to
can-
say
I'm
with
going
their
to put a
record
wild
right now.
card right there. I'm going to change my whole prediction. I think it's going to be the Bulls Thunder in the finals. A huge, huge finals. I think that would be a solid
It's
matchup.
like the team of the young blood.
Young blood versus experience. I like that matchup.
K Parks.
Yeah, he needs to get on the court.
All right. Well, also in the standings, the East is pretty much all set. 1 through 7 as far as who's going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Although
they can still kind of change.
Yeah,
but
the eighth spot is still up for grabs. Now, who do you guys think is going to take that 8th spot? Milwaukee, Charlotte, or Indy?
well, I don't even know why Indy's still there. They have Danny Granger, but basically their whole other team is trash. They got Josh McRoberts, he's not a starter. Roy Hibbert's not a starter. Darren Collison isn't as good as they thought he was going to be.
Milwaukee's really solid.
Milwaukee is solid. I'm going to get to that in a second. Charlotte, if they kept Gerald Wallace, they would be right in the playoff picture. But they traded Gerald Wallace, and I think their team on paper with just Steven Jackson is finally back from injury. I mean, I don't think they have enough firepower. Like you just mentioned, Milwaukee. I think they're the best starting 5 of the 3. Brandon Jennings is back healthy. Andrew Bogut. I think that's a solid 1-2 right there with Jennings and Bogut. Go around the circle. You can got Urson Ilyasova, who's a great power forward, great offensive power forward. You got Corey Maggette with some serious playoff experience. He's a solid player too. And John Salmons, he has experience too. I like all Milwaukee. And them as a team last year, they did solid damage in the playoffs. They were the 5th seed. I like Milwaukee to take that 8th seed in these.
I don't see how with their talent they wouldn't get up there.
Yeah. The only problem was that they've had injuries in the past.
Yeah.
They've had Andrew Bogut's been injured, Brandon Jennings has been injured, Ilyasova's been injured, this whole team's been injured. But now that they're finally healthy, I think they're buying into this whole system right now, and I think they can do it.
I think they got it. I don't see how they don't.
So you say Bucks are the 8th seed? Alright.
Alrighty then. That's all we have for this episode of The Pitch with Fox, Speed, Arms, and Mitch. And now, be sure to follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, check out our website. We got Twitter, so we really appreciate it if you did that, alright? Now, until next week, that's all we have for this episode of The Pitch. We'll see you then, guys.
See ya.